back and say, this is the story.
Hey,
Alright, it's going. It's going.
You should have seen the
Still talk to us though, actually.
Okay. So anyway,
We got a video of him sticking his hair in the mirror.
I had a video of him sitting in class with pigtails in.
What?
I have a picture
Oh
of
man,
it.
we got a video of me putting a bun in his hair.
Remember? I think I deleted it. I should check the
That's your face.
Anyway.
Anyways.
So anyway.
That's here at your own risk, dog.
He comes So he comes over. Right, and whatever, they're talking, whatever, and then this is here.
I gotta get the story.
Ellie, she was like, hey, well, we're going to go to the mall after, do you want to come? So he's like, yeah. So anyway, then he starts being creepy, so we bailed. But I felt that.
I get everybody in this, man.
So I'm like, okay, let's just go. So we go back,
Even me, yo.
drive
Even me.
to his house, right? He's like, come in, I live. He's like, come in, I live in the basement. First warning, like horror movie sort of
I
thing.
live in the basement.
Yeah, we're just like, okay. So, we go in, go downstairs, right? And like, he's got 2 couches and no bed, so I'm like, whatever. So I sit on one of the couches, there's like this little Tupperware thing. And, oh shit. So there's this little Tupperware thing, right? So I open it and I'm like playing with it or whatever.
Like doing something behind there you shouldn't be doing.
So he's like, did you open that? I'm like, no. Me? No. And I'm like, why? He's like, there was mosquitoes in there. I'm like, it's from January. Like, how'd you get mosquitoes in there in January? He's like, I found them at my aunt's house. I'm like, okay, well, how'd you get them in January? He's like, I got them back in the spring. I'm like, bud, they need to eat. He's like, I know. Rolls up his arm, there's bug bites all over his arm.
Oh my god.
Hang on, there's the no, that's the best. That's just the weakest part.
That's just the start of it.
So anyway, he's like, I want to show you something. So I'm like, okay. So he goes over and gets a picture, a card with some writing on it, and a napkin. He goes, ah. I'm like, okay. He's like, this is my grandfather. I'm like, it's very nice. He's like, this is the card the poem that was wrote on the day of his funeral. I'm like, it's very nice. He's like, this is a napkin from 1945. I'm like, why do you have a napkin from 1945? And he's like,
Did it really look that old?
yeah, it looked like coffee was all over it. So he's like,
it was a used napkin.
That's my attitude. He's like, it's from his wedding. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, well, here you are. And he puts it down beside me and goes to walk in the chair. And shit, you know, this is exactly what he does. Walks over to the chair, sits down in the chair, jumps back up. Where's the picture? Right there on the floor. It doesn't go on the floor! I wasn't going to contradict him because I thought he was going to slit my throat. So anyway, he puts it back or somewhere, right? He's like, I want to show you guys something. So we're like, okay. So he goes over to the bookshelf, pulls out this binder, big old binder, filled with pages, right? Flips to the middle of it and goes, Dear Santa. And begins reading a letter that...
Fuck, this guy'd be good at story time. Look at all the people coming in, eh?
It's marshmallows.
Where's the marshmallows?
So he begins
better. There's a
reading this letter, this little thing he wrote to Santa. So Allie's like, just a quick question. Do you believe in Santa? He's like, yes. She's like, oh good, because he's real. So anyway, it goes on. Blah, blah, blah. So then, all of a sudden, we hear on the wall. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? He's like, oh, just ignore her. And I'm thinking, oh, is that your sister or something? We're in the basement. Anyway, is that your sister or something? No, it's the demon in the walls. Oh? You want to know how I met her? Do tell. So, I was at my friend's house this one night, and he leaves the room, then all the lights are off. Okay. And this chick, she's got no legs, long wet hair that hangs in her face, comes out of the couch, like underneath the couch. Crawls under the chair, under the table, comes up and looks at me, blinks a couple times, and then returns from where she came. It's very nice. Well, fucking ass. Hallie's like, just a quick question, were you high by any point? He's like, the first time? That makes sense. Well, not the second time. There was more. Yes. I was at my sister's house, and we were sitting in the room, and all the lights were off, and she left the room. I'm like, do people not invest in electricity? Anyway, so she comes out from under the chair this time and crawls under the couch and under the table, and I had a cigarette lying on the table that I was about to have. Well, she comes up and picks it up, puts it in her mouth, lights it, and in one puff takes the whole thing. How interesting. He's like, yeah, do you know how I summon her? Do tell. Goes over to the bookshelf, pulls out a fucking human skull, missing its 2 front teeth, puts a cigarette in it, puts it back down. I'm like...
This is kind of weird.
He's like, normally it goes on the altar. Points over, and there's an altar. I completely missed it. It's got candles, purple cloth, and standing the whole 9 yards. Anyway, so at this point, I'm scared. Can we go to the mall? Somewhere public. Lots of people. Yeah, okay. So we go to the mall. So we're walking around. Me and Allie are coming up with ways that we can, like, bail. Just didn't work out. So anyway, he's like, I want to go into the store. So we're like, okay, sure. Because there's people in the store. Security buttons. So anyway, we go into the store and he starts talking about coats. It's like sporting goods or something like that. And he's like, this stitching is very loose, so it won't keep you very warm in the winter. And he's like, but this stitching over here, this is very tight, so it'll keep you warm. And I'm like, why do I care? He's like, for when we go camping in the woods next week for a couple days.
What?
You want me to go camping with you? Hello, in the woods. Where no one can hear me speak.
No one knows.
To go. Well, actually, I didn't even say that. I told him I don't do camping unless it's like I don't do camping at all. I don't even stay in hotels that are less than 4 stars. No, I'm shitting you not. 5 stars all the way. 4 stars is camping. 3 or less is roughing it. So anyway, at this point, he got pissed off at something, because it was a great day. And he's like, "Can you just take me to my sister's?" I'm like, "Sure. Let me just start the car." So we get in the car and we take him to his sister's. He gets out and he's like, he gets back, pokes his head back in. He's like, "I had fun, let's do this again." This is on a Wednesday, right? So he's like, "Let's do this again before the weekend." And I'm like, "Oh shit. Thursday, not good for me." And he's like, "Well, what about Friday?" Ali's like, "Oh shit. I have a photo shoot in New York on Friday. I won't be gone all weekend. We'll be back till Monday." He's like, "Oh." So he's like, "Well, can I get your number so, I can call you?" Oh shit. My cell phone's about to die. Like, it's gone. Like, I don't even have it anymore. Like, sorry. Ali, fucking bitch. Yeah, sure. Let me do it. So she gives him the number, and when he gets out, like, we're driving back. I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?" She's like, "Big deal. I can just turn it off. Like, it's a text, right? I can't get calls anyway." And she's like, "At least it's over with. We never have to deal with that again." We'll just ignore him. I'm like, "I'm in his fucking class tomorrow at school. What's up?" No, never showed up again. This was January. I didn't even see the guy again until today. He comes out. He's, "Hi, how you doing?" I'm looking at him like, "I don't even know you." Then I recognize the grease. No, I shit you not. Ali, I don't remember how it came up. That's why I didn't include it in the story. But something he was showering or his hair or something. He's like, "I can't wash my hair this week." We're like, "You need $8 for shampoo or something like that?" I only wash my hair once a month.
Ew.
That's nasty. That is nasty. Nasty.
Definitely don't need gel.
We'll fall.
He goes on to explain that natural oils, or like the oils from your hair, act as a natural shampoo, which is true. It does.
Yeah, and it repels
But they
bugs.
stink.
You're supposed to do it every week.
They stink is the problem.
At
the
least
oils.
wash your hair once a week.
Bring that. I wash my hair every other day.
Well, I wash mine every day, but it's good for you to leave the oil in your hair every once in a while. But anyway.
That's basically it. So anyway, these idiots, I begin explaining the story to them because I think I should trust them. No. Now they're making plans to come up behind me with a fucking knife saying, "You go camping?"
I got a knife in my backpack.
I'm gonna scream like a bitch if this happens. No, remember those tears I was talking about? Those fake tears that I used?
Got a nice little camping seat on it.
No, all the
ivory.
fake tears that you guys heard about that get us ticket.
Yo, he's probably got like this little diagram set up with like little dolls that he's made. He's like, "Cody and me camping."
Probably got a hair doll of you.
Like a voodoo doll.
You're looking for evidence.
He's probably got like a voodoo doll.
I could not explain it. Now I know. The bitch came back and saw me yesterday.
Okay, which guy is it?
That guy right there.
Oh, that guy?
Oh, I don't think I can get in here. Oh, maybe.
No, seriously.
Are you serious?
That's
That's pretty good? That's it?
No.
The guy in the black, yes.
And all this shit.
Yep.
That's fucked up, bud.
With like the light color hair?
Fucked up.
tried to explain. He was like trying to build. He's like, fellow classmates, I come before you today to. Because I'm
Wow.
building an army.
He had a half decent idea, but
Yeah, but he just presented it like he was
He's trying to
Hitler.
build an
he
army?
couldn't reiterate it
I
properly.
went to high school with that kid.
So did I.
Build an
No,
army.
that's what he said. I come before you today because I'm building an army of peace. We wage peace instead of war.
Fuck.
Wow, I'm never gonna talk to him again.
Fucking retarded. I'm sorry, but I don't